What's up, guys? Welcome into the Funshop podcast with Greg and Ronnie. We are streaming to you live from Los Angeles, California. What's up, Greg? How you feeling today?
Coachella.
Oh, Coachella. Coachella, did you go? Did I go?
I don't know, man. I didn't even do Couchella.
Yeah, that's a popular one. Yeah, I was telling Greg about that. I was at a party, and the DJ was cooking, and I turned to the chick next to me, and she nods her head, and she's like, Coachella. So that's the joke this week.
I thought that would make you. I thought that would make you laugh a little bit.
Love it. I love it.
But no, man, I'm all right. You know, I'm another day in paradise. You know, getting ready for a couple auctions. You know, putting some material together for some future Potter auctions that are going to be coming up soon. We'll, follow the Funshop to learn all about it.
Yeah,
so,
we'll let you guys know. Keep you posted.
Yeah, man, this weekend was good. I went to Braindead had the Fantasyfest.
What was that? Did they have it down on Fairfax, or did they have it at a different location?
So they had the Braindead Studios had, which I guess Fairfax location. Right. They had mostly, I think it was the they were showing movies and stuff. Yeah. And I think they had some sort of special edition merch available. But I went to the I think it was like the Ukrainian cultural center. On Melrose. So that's where all the vendors and stuff was. So I went to that one. Cool. I kind of didn't really know exactly what to expect, but it was dope, man. I mean, like, look, I don't know if you remember, but I remember, like Kyle, who, started Braindead, like he used to, I remember when we had the store on La Brea, he used to like come in all the time, like riding a skateboard with his dog, like hanging around the block. And, I remember when he started Braindead, I still have like this Bela Lugosi Braindead shirt, because I remember like he only was selling at Union to start.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And and since then, man, I mean, like, props to Kyle and Braindead. I'd actually like to get him on if he has. I'm sure he would be, because that dude, I mean, he really created, in my opinion, like, sort of the, like it's like everything that I wished Mishka could be or could have been. Like, I mean, it's his own version, but I'm just saying, like, I just felt like he took, even like a close thing what we did and just like turned it up to 11.
Yeah.
Like the fact that his like studio and store is like a movie theater and he shows movies. And I know, maybe, but I'm pretty sure, like he saw my Ghana poster up in, the Mishka store. And, you go into his spot and he has Ghana posters. But, yeah, it's Kyle's a big gamer. He's like, like Braindead's done a bunch of collaborations with like Magic the Gathering. And, so there was like, Magic collaborations. He did the Conan collaboration. I wore the shirt yesterday. I posted it.
Yeah, very cool.
He, there was all these like underground, like, it's like it had like people that had like established games. Like it was kind of like, you go to a card show. There was like one table that was cool. There was like a distro. They had all this different like card games and stuff from all different people. Mm-hmm. And then there was like people representing like their own games. And then, then there were just like, like Secret Headquarters was there. And, our buddy Matthew and, Bibliomancers. So, and then, Kevin was there. I actually, when I was walking up, I didn't even know Kev from Pristine Art. He has, from
Vintage Selections.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I thought the best thing from him.
Let me show you. Let me give you the.
Yeah. So I saw this on his table.
Looks like a weird alien Homer Simpson or something. Yeah, it's like a weird alien.
It's like it's like a tobacco pipe.
Yeah. It's a ceramic pipe.
Ceramic smoking pipe.
Yeah, and the alien has a pipe himself, and he's holding a hammer on top of that.
Well, see, it was funny because I remember I had mentioned that I bought it, and someone was like, "Oh, you liked it because it had the dick," and I didn't even notice it at first. I thought it was his knee, but I guess he's just resting his like club.
Show it to the camera one more time clearly. There you go. A little lower. I just want to get a screen cap of There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
But like we were thinking, it's like probably like late '90s, early 2000s, like late rave.
Yeah, definitely like later rave culture type thing.
But it's actually done really well. I mean, it's actually a really nice ceramic. I mean, it's interesting that it's not marked, but like I wouldn't be surprised if this was done, like somewhere in Europe. Actually,
is there paint on that, or is that all glaze? I'm not good with pottery and ceramics.
It's paint
and glaze.
It's paint and glaze.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
But then I was showing you the other thing I have that I've had for a while. Like I never really got into this glass art, but I do have this little.
Yeah.
I guess you call it. Do you call these what, chillums?
Yeah, it's like a chillum. Hold it a little closer to the camera. I don't know if you can see. I want to take another screen cap.
Yeah, it's like this weird little chillum.
Yeah, it's like a tooth guy. He's got a full mouth of pearly whites.
Yeah. But this was by this artist named Salt, who
S-A-L-T?
S-A-L-T,
like the Angelina Jolie
this
movie.
is like from 2011. But yeah, I think this guy's like a big deal in that world. But it was crazy because like this to me was like sort of I kind of was like, this is like the predecessor of like a more artistic, maybe even if they weren't thinking at the time, it's actually done really well. Like it's sculpted well. It's like a nice. Yeah. I mean, the only thing it doesn't have is like a carb, but I mean,
don't need one. You probably wouldn't even want to smoke out of that one, to be honest.
No, like that's the thing is like piece. I don't even really want to smoke out of it, and so I guess that's the one difference between like the guys that sell like those like $100,000 rigs or something. I mean, the guys that buy them like want to smoke out of them.
Yeah.
So this I don't know. I just like it because I feel like unless somebody could tell me like this is some known artist, like to me it almost seems like an accidental art object, if that makes sense,
Okay. I mean, no, I think there's an intent for the beauty of it, if you will.
But I think it's one of those things where it was like,
oh, not really meant to smoke out of it.
Or no, somebody had the idea, but they were like, couldn't we just like go to a like ceramic place and make it into a pipe? And they're like, yeah, you could.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
I mean,
okay, got it. I understand.
Like, but it wouldn't. I don't think it would like work really well. Like it'd probably be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, I go scientific rather than heady anyway, so I wouldn't, go full function and not form at all.
But I mean, I bought it more as like an art object and sort of like history of like the smoking.
I have
culture.
some pieces like that where it's like, oh, I have it, but it's like I don't smoke out. I have pieces like that I keep mostly for art.
I mean, the one thing I regret I mean, I don't have a lot of regrets in life.
Okay, what's one of them?
It was not really a regret because I have so much crap anyway. But I remember early on when I moved to New York, I hooked up with the guys from Skewville, like they're brothers. They're like art collective, and one of the things that they did was they made like pipes out of Coke bottles and Heineken bottles, and I'm pretty sure
like 2 liters or glass.
No,
ones?
like the glass ones.
Gotcha.
But then they did their custom labels. So instead of Heineken, it said "Hi Again."
Gotcha.
Or instead of like Coke, it said "Enjoy a Toke."
Ah, so forever.
So, but I mean, I think they were the first ones to do it, or at least they made the actual pipes. And I remember one year I went with them to Seattle. There was this big like hemp fest, and cannabis had just been decriminalized. But I remember they were selling a lot of their old stock of these like, pipes and stuff. And I wish that I would have kept a set of them is what I was basically going to say. But I mean, it also gave me a lot of appreciation for that culture because.
Wait, that was your regret? Not getting those?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, I thought we were going to.
I mean, there was also, I also ate way too many edibles that day because I had like, no, I don't. I actually had like an amazing time.
Okay.
It's like all a blur. all I remember was that I remember the best thing though is like, this was probably 2004, something like that, 2005. And all I remember is like, they only accepted cash. And I remember like the day, because there's only one day, I just remember coming back to the hotel and like them just like dumping all the money on the bed. Like they're such dorks, but it was pretty awesome. We had a great time.
We're such in a backwards world now because everywhere is like, we don't take cash.
Oh,
no cash.
Yeah.
No cash.
No, I know. It's a whole thing.
I want to dump a thing of cash everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But yeah, so that was fun. I mean, that was cool. I only went for like a few hours. I hit you up, but you were like just getting up from partying, I think.
Yeah, yeah, you hit me up early. I don't think I saw it until the afternoon.
Yeah, but and then Sunday Sunday was actually.
Was that a Rose Bowl?
Yeah, it was a bust because
rain.
Man, this was annoying, right? So I've been renting this space, and the woman that I've been renting it from, she gets in for like the beginning of the month. Or the beginning of like a month ago, and she's like, "Hey, do you want the spot again?" Because my friend Eric and his girlfriend Serena were going to do it. So I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" Then it's like Saturday morning. I texted her and I was like, "Hey, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Can you try to sell it to somebody?" And I was like, of course, I'll pay. And then she didn't text me the next day. And she's like, oh, yeah, I couldn't get anyone. But then it sucked because I could have still used the ticket to get in. So I had to pay her and pay to get in. But I had a really good day of picking. So it was,
bittersweet.
It was bittersweet, Gotcha. And look, I'm a man of my word. I did. She did ask me weeks ago, and regardless, I only told her Saturday morning. So I didn't expect it. It would have been nice, but, I paid her the money, and it's all good in the hood. So, but it was, I actually got really lucky. I found a bunch of paper, even though it was raining.
Okay.
And, yeah, there was some good stuff pulled, and just worked out well that day. But
great.
Yeah, and now I'm here with you.
Yeah, and so am I. I didn't go anywhere. Went partying. I did a lot of partying again.
A lot of partying.
Yeah. Going through records, but but it's taking me to other places. Like I told you, I was going through my old record collection and finding a lot of gold in there. So I figured that's part of collecting too. You just bought a lot of stuff that you loved, that you used, and
right, yeah,
finding monetary value. But I'm not selling those. I'm going to put those to use.
Yeah. Oh, what else? We did something else. Was it Friday night that we watched Pee-wee?
I think it was last Wednesday after the podcast.
Oh, it was?
I think so.
Yeah, it must have been, right?
Because we were just hanging out. Yeah, we were just hanging out there.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, I guess you did, and then we watched Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
The movie. Wow, you okay?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, classic.
Yeah, dude, that was. I hadn't seen that movie probably in, I don't know, at least 15 years, I think.
Yeah, I was surprised that I was still familiar with the music and stuff. It's you kind of know what's coming, certain parts.
Well, I also I was like, man, this movie definitely affected me, obviously.
Yeah.
As a kid. Because seeing his house again with all that stuff and the little, all the gadgets, and then the fact that, I don't know, he was into going to magic shops and, things like that. I was like, wow, this movie says so much to me these days. But I don't know, it's kind of a genius movie. And the fact that Tim Burton directed it, before anyone knew who Tim Burton was. So watching it now after Tim Burton has also created such a legacy, and this, has become this A-list giant filmmaker, that's created all these
A-list? Yeah, I guess he's A-list.
Yeah, and he's created all these amazing. Dude, it's Nightmare Before Christmas is they takes over the Haunted Mansion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
no, you're right. You're right.
He created a Disney property, which is not easy.
Yeah.
And watching it with and it's wow, nobody could have done this movie, but then you realize you couldn't go backwards and do it. The fact that it also went so well was it was just so fresh, and there was so much energy, and I don't know. I just think everything about it. There was nothing that I remember seeing that I was like, oh, that kind of doesn't work. Or
yeah. In retrospect, and we're talking about Pee-wee. It's amazing that he made that, and somebody was like, let's let him make a Batman movie.
Well, that
was
that's after
insane to me.
What do you mean? When
I
he
guess
was the Penguin?
that was after Edward Scissorhands. No, Tim Burton directed the Batman and Batman Returns.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought
Burton,
you meant
right?
Pee-wee.
Oh no, that's all Tim Burton though, right? Tim Burton directed that.
Yeah, he did direct some Batman.
Pee-wee. He directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, no, I thought you meant when Pee-wee came back as the Penguin's father.
No. I don't know why I started thinking about Tim Burton because I thought you were talking about Tim Burton.
Oh, I was, but then you mentioned.
Okay.
No, but did you know that there was that movie where Pee-wee plays the dad, and that was like his first role, after the incident at the movie theater. That was like his first.
Okay.
Besides when he was like I think at the MTV Music Awards, he's like, heard any good jokes lately?
Right.
I could probably do a better Pee-wee, but that's
okay. No, they get the gist. They know it's not. As long as they know it's not me.
I know you are, but what am I? Infinity.
Yeah.
Oh, and then it was also fun to tell you about the deleted Amazing Larry scene.
Refresh my memory.
Well, remember, because there's the classic line where he's like in the basement, he's grilling everybody, and the guy with the mohawk, he turns to somebody else and he goes, "Is there something you want to share with the rest of us, Amazing Larry?"
That's right.
It's such a random line, but then I remember I think having the DVD and there was like deleted scenes, and there's actually a scene with Amazing Larry in the magic shop. Where earlier when he's in the magic shop earlier, but I guess it got cut. So you're sort of just like kind of like thrown into Pee-wee's weird friend world of Amazing Larry.
Rather than getting
to like learn more about him.
Right.
I forget the scene at the, I think it was worth them cutting because like the scene as is great when he's in the gag, the magic gag shop.
Amazing Larry.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's it's always good to know the backstory.
No, absolutely. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I need to review that more too. I was a little preoccupied halfway through the movie, so I didn't catch the whole thing.
Yeah, I also like how being older and then knowing like. I guess I really didn't know James. Like, I guess I didn't really know James Brolin as an actor, like Josh Brolin's father.
Right.
And then even like Morgan Fairchild, it's like seeing it now as an adult, it's like way funnier.
Yeah.
Than like I think it even was as a kid because I just didn't like understand.
Yeah, I did.
Like, I mean, I'm sure you did. I mean, I kind of did, but I just feel like I understand it more now.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Just certain things you pick up like when you watch a movie as you're older.
Yeah, I don't remember if there was anything I picked up this time. I was just tripping out on you trip out on the things that like don't make sense with like the Rube Goldberg machine where it's like it cracks the egg where it's like or it's like how how he has to reset the machine every night to make his breakfast and it's like man how tedious would that be?
Well, that's why he's like so that's probably like. Yeah, he probably has to spend hours of his day setting that up.
Exactly.
So then he can wake up and
you're talking about like putting the pancake batter in things. Or
well, even like I've also been on this like vegan pancake kick.
Okay.
Where like we had a box of Bisquick and I was like, I want to make pancakes, and so it's actually pretty easy nowadays to make vegan pancakes because they have vegan eggs. It's like mung bean or something, but it has the consistency of like
a beaten egg.
Yeah, of a beaten egg. I mean, it's like literally eating like the free breakfast at like Holiday Inn eggs, but better.
You took me there, jeez.
Yeah, but at least when you're eating like fake eggs, you're not thinking of like, okay, like. Where the hell are those eggs coming from that they're serving you at like Howard Johnson? I mean, those are those like that's like when you see those videos and they're just talking about like the torture of chickens and like where they have no room and they're like cannibalizing each other. Like those are the eggs that end up at like Howard Johnson, right?
Jeez, as if their life wasn't bad enough.
Yeah. Getting eaten like getting thrown with corn syrup, not even like real maple syrup, just doused all over.
You got to use enough salt and like hopefully they got like an all right ketchup. That's not like a really bad ketchup, and it's like those can pass. And like maybe if you have like some bread or toast, but oh my god.
Yeah, but like the OG trick for like no eggs in a vegan mix was it still is applesauce. Because like, egg is like a binding element. So they would say that the applesauce, but it just doesn't work as well. But this new egg, the mung bean egg, it actually, I don't know, it's like I can make fluffy and the other thing I realized about pancakes is that the secret ingredient of pancakes is a little bit of baking powder.
You're right. Yeah.
But I never knew that.
Yeah, it's supposed to get them a little fluffer.
Fluffer. Yeah. So.
I buy the I make pancakes for Wally every day, and it's I take the easy route and just buy the big bag of like Crusties or something, and you just add water.
Oh, okay.
You just add water. I don't know if there's any egg in the mix or whatever.
Yeah, there's because that's the other thing too is like you have to put like you put like 2 cups of Bisquick, like a cup of water, a cup of milk. 2 eggs.
Yeah, no, don't do don't go with the Bisquick. Bisquick, that's for the birds, man.
Yeah, I mean, I should just but I mean, I don't know. It was just there. The Bisquick was there, but I don't know. I like it. I don't like I mean, I guess they do have vegan instant, but I don't know. I think I make a pretty. Plus, I was adding bananas and
walnuts,
pecans.
Yeah,
walnuts.
Nice.
Pecans the first time. Ooh. Walnuts the second time.
Yeah, the candied ones or
candied
raw?
Pecans. Dude.
Man.
Dude.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I was like getting down on some. I don't know what brought me into pancakes, but
yeah, I'm not into pancakes. I'm more into waffles.
Oh, dude, you're such a liar.
Dude, no, I'm a waffle guy. I need a little crisp. There's no crisp on the
there's a crisp on my pancakes. You just haven't had my pancakes.
Right. When you get them at restaurants and stuff, you don't get the crisp. You
nah,
get the crisp,
I mean some places. Speaking of which, I did find a really. I went with Randy, our
Tiki Ranch,
Randy.
Okay.
That was one fun thing after since like we were.
What'd you guys do?
We went to have breakfast because it was like pouring at it was like pouring.
Where'd you guys go?
Went to this place called Millie's.
Oh wait.
Did I go there with you before?
No.
I was definitely
was
there
it like
before.
Off Washington or something?
Yeah, it's in Pasadena, off Washington.
There's probably a line, right?
Well, we got pretty lucky because it was early. It was like I don't think it was even true. Not. It was like.
Was there like a kind of a black and white checkered motif somewhere outside? Right?
Maybe.
But it's like by the sidewalk in a nice kind of part of northern Pasadena.
Yeah.
I was gonna go there one time with Kevin. And,
dude, it's so they have like it's the best place to go if you're like. I mean. It is. It was, and they have a whole vegan menu.
Right.
But it's like, then it's like they have a whole regular menu, and then they have a whole vegan version.
Yeah, nice diner style.
Diner style.
What'd you get?
Dude, I got the
pancakes.
No, see, I would usually get the pancakes, but I've been like making my own, and so I had the tofu scramble.
Ooh.
It was so good because they did have the fake egg, and I was like, yeah, again, I don't, I want to. I'm more impressed by a good tofu scramble,
right?
And dude,
you can do that with tofu.
I got a tofu scramble with like the rosemary potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
It was called like I don't know, something weird. It was called like the vegan slop or something because it wasn't. Yeah. They kind of like mix everything together,
like a version of a hash, kind of.
Yeah, and so there was like. I think the owners are Mexican, so there is like a kind of Mexican American kind of thing where they have like. I mean, obviously huevos rancheros, but like,
with tofu?
No, dude, they did have vegan, whatchamacallit, they had vegan, like hollandaise sauce. Like if you wanted,
what
is it called?
Made from mung bean.
I don't know what
hollandaise sauce made from mung bean.
It was made from something, but I'm not like a big hollandaise sauce fan anyway.
I mean, you need it with your Chateaubriand and with your eggs Benedict.
Yeah, so they had like vegan eggs Benedict.
All right.
So
I still have not eaten there. I do not like it when you've eaten at spots in LA that I haven't been to yet.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I should be on top of that.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, just for the, it was good too. It was like super busy, so it's like busy breakfast is always good. So that means it's all fresh.
Yeah.
I
got to tell you, I've been keeping it light during my partying schedule, eating light. So it's like during my partying schedule, during the day, my one meal, I have like half an Ike's. And I get half a vegetarian Ike's.
Right.
And that's all you need. That little bread carb keeps you going. Yeah. No meat, keeps you light.
You're living a alternate existence than I am, but it is one way to live.
Everyone celebrates their midlife crisis differently.
It's true. It's true.
Mine just happens to be a happy celebration of dancing and partying and stuff.
Right.
And,
Right. Yeah. But it's but yeah, no. So it's a fun weekend, and now What's this weekend? I guess more of the same.
Long Beach is this Sunday. Are we getting?
Yeah.
I don't even know of any other shows. The next show I know there's going to be a 2-day LA card show at the convention center.
Yeah.
But I think that's in June.
Okay.
And also in June, I think is the next Analog Outlaw. So I don't even know what's coming up in May.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think there's gonna be a lot more stuff happening now that it's the weather. Yeah, now that it's like, I guess spring has sprung, as they say.
Yeah, we're knee deep in it.
Yeah, but
out of retrograde finally.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Out of Mercury retrograde.
Yeah,
so
that was sucking.
Go buy your expensive toys now.
Now is the time. I still, yeah. Kevin was still trying to buy. It's like I still have some expensive toys, but I don't want to sell them. I mean, I guess it just depends, I'm trying to get my rhythm, get my rhythm going, so I don't have to sell any more expensive stuff that I don't want to sell. But it's a lot of things happening. So, and look, I mean, as crazy as the world is, it's like I always say it, people are always going to want to collect, I mean, look at during COVID, I mean, collecting skyrocketed. I mean, one, because people were home and they had nothing else to do, but
got their $600 checks.
Yeah. But I mean, it also too, I mean, it's like, I feel like at this point, like collecting is kind of like it's like almost like part of it's like an American pastime,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, culturally, you don't think they do it as much other places? You think it's more prevalent to America? I mean, as opposed to other countries?
Well, I just think it's prevalent in America because it's just like a land of excess.
Yeah.
It's like we have so much that like what more could you want than like stuff that you like literally don't need? Like decorations and toys and collectibles and things of that nature, because, for whatever reason, it brings you, some sort of happiness, or there's, like I said, I think culturally, I think it's just a part of, existence, whether it's like just decorating your house or room or, becoming a collector of sorts, it's sort of like, obviously it's a fun, it should be a fun hobby. It could be,
yeah,
so I guess being a dealer, it is slow. I feel like everyone that I've been talking to generally, sales are slow, eBay's slow. But, I mean,
sign of the times.
Yeah. But I mean, but then it's like, you just have to kind of, switch up, like, this, I don't know if we talked about it last week. Maybe we did. I kind of said I wasn't going to do PCC anymore, and maybe even Rose Bowl, because I realized that that's just not the level dealer I am unless I'm in a position, because, a lot of the guys that I'm buying from, it's like almost being at the flea market is like kind of like you're a wholesaler. If you want to survive. If you want to charge, you got
to sell bigger loads for less money, kind of.
Yeah, or just you have to have things that okay, this sells for $1,000 online, but you can buy it for $500, and and hopefully you bought it for like $100 or $200.
Right.
You're not going to that next level, but I would rather be the person that buys it from the market and then takes it to another marketplace, whether it be eBay or whether it be an auction at Potter, or whether like I sell it on my Facebook or Greg's Funshop or whatever it is. And so I realize like, yeah, it's good. It's like I'm already getting to the flea market early anyway.
Yeah.
And it's like if I don't have the stuff people want, then I'm just sort of sitting there all day. I'm not making any money.
Yeah.
And I'm just like
sad Greg.
So, I don't know. It's just like if you're, it's sort of like a journey. I think when you go from like a collector to a dealer, because you're like, oh, I actually have to get rid of stuff, or like I don't pay my bills. You know what I mean? Like,
no, of course.
It's like it becomes a job, and but it's like. It's hard, it's one of those things that you kind of have to sort of like, I don't know, maybe other people can relate. I know you're very like, you had like a very stern upbringing.
Yeah,
like,
we have a baseline, right?
Yeah, you guys have like you have like a baseline.
Take care of that first, right? Before,
Right.
And if you do anything else that kind of deviates from that, you have a guilt, right? They program the guilt into you.
Yeah, so that's the other thing too is you kind of like, I think that's why you have why probably in America too you have so many like people like collectors, but then people that are also hoarders and stuff.
Yeah,
where you're not going to see that as much in other countries,
right?
And
yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
It's not like you don't see it, but it's rarer to see a hoarder in other countries than it is in America.
Plus, I don't know. It's just like it feels okay to be lazy in America. I don't know. Maybe there's lazy people everywhere.
Yeah. No, I think it's just about the excess. I just think that we have so much stuff and we have like way more than we need, and so. But like, hey, look, man, it's like if it makes you happy though, and some people, it makes them happier than others. So I don't know. I'd like to, if I could take, it's like also too, it's like I'm thinking, okay, well, why do I need to keep everything? It's like I can only enjoy so much of it. Then the rest of it should try to go out and be enjoyed by other people.
I don't care.
Possible.
I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with the other people, right? I mean, it just, it adds a value to our life, rather, it makes you happy.
Well, no, but I only mention the other people because I think like if you like positivity spreads, right?
Oh, okay.
Happiness spreads.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like if you're making someone happy, then it's like it's a better thing than making someone angry. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm looking at it as a level of like just sort of this level of bringing people like sort of happiness in like a effed up world.
No, you're right. You're right. I just don't. I mean, other collectors, like at least with my items or whatever, it doesn't really enter my head, Or I imagine most of the time, or like the stuff that I get rid of, someone's going to resell it anyway. It's not going to wind up in their collection.
I mean, but look, but eventually, but I think, the way that I look at it, I feel like eventually it gets to the person that it's supposed to get to, or it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't even think about it. I'm just honestly, I feel the weight off my shoulders from unburdening myself with more of stuff.
It's
more relief than anything.
No, I mean, I think that's something that happens as you get older. You just you realize that true value you can't really like, it's not like true like there could be a value in an experience that's more valuable than anything you can own because it's something that you lived and experienced, and the memory and the moment is something more valuable, and there's really no way to put like a price tag on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think as you get older, you start thinking of the world of that ways, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, all this stuff is cool, but like, what am I really, if any, it's like a lot of times like, it's just kind of it's kind of dragging me down, or, it's sort of like this, it's like this weight on top of you.
Yeah. And like I've said it for a while now, like to add to that, it's like this thing with space and time once again, right? Don't have as much space, and how you spend time is worth more.
Yeah.
That's just me at the moment.
Yeah, no. I'm with you, man. It's definitely a journey that I don't
Or it's like, right now the focus for me, like as far as like art and objects and stuff, it's like with music and records and stuff. And, that's the only way you can really enjoy a record is, by taking the time and listening to it. Or
I think for me now, it's like trying to get my business in a place where, I've never been at a point where dealing in stuff was like my full-time gig. And that's sort of what's kind of becoming.
Right.
Where it's like, I'm doing Mishka, but like not full time. It's more just like
take as much of your attention as other things would.
It's like I'm not, even though I'm still part owner of Gas, I'm not working day to day on that, and then really besides like my own art, our podcast and whatever else, it's just like I'm like, I got Greg's Funshop. That's my like hustle.
Yeah.
Right. And so like any other business, it's just trying to streamline it because, it's really easy to buy for me. But, obviously it's like, you can buy, but if you're not selling correctly, and I guess that's where it's like, figuring out that point so that I can get it to a point where, I also want to, I think one thing that I've always like wanted to do, even when I was younger, is somehow figure out a way to bring, creativity in collecting, because there is a, collecting is also like, there's like that. I feel like there's a creative process to it, even like picking, or I guess maybe picking, there's like, because I'm looking for things that I find interesting that I hope that other people find interesting. And I also find things that have inherent value, but my thing that I like to find is something that, maybe not a lot of people see value in, and then telling the right story or presenting something in the right way where someone's like, oh, wow, like I'm totally into it now because of the story.
Right.
So
yeah, it's I don't know if art. Yeah, there's an art in like a chemistry, like a flow to it.
Yeah, but also like even Johnny, like for years he's encouraged me to, he's like, oh, you should make like a zine with like your collection.
Yeah,
and it's like such an easy thing, but when you're trying to sell stuff, it's hard to sort of compartmentalize like okay, like I got to work on this. I mean, it's life, I guess. Sorry, I'm just sort of like talking like what's going on in my brain.
That's what it is.
It's just more fine. Like I'm sort of trying to figure out how to streamline the store, because I guess if anything you learn as an artist or creative, like the older you get, is like you're like, oh wow, like yeah, money is still not the most important thing to me, but it's like what I need to like survive and to do more cool things.
Yeah.
Which I obviously it's very simple, you always know, but it's also, I guess for many years I just lived a more like, I lived in a lifestyle where I was just purely a collector. I didn't have to sell anything because I was making like steady income.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know, it's just like a new journey. So if anyone else, and I feel like
new journeys.
Yeah, we're all on new journeys, and I know a lot of people, like it's a, as like you mean, this because a lot of your, we're all friends. I mean, it's not easy being a dealer. Like Kevin, both Kevins, I mean, those guys, like
they got brick and mortars, like
they got to pay rent, they got to pay insurance, they got to pay all this stuff. And then it's like, they got to hustle, they got to find the stuff. And it's a, I mean, we all have our scores, but more so than not, it's a grind, it's like not, how it is. Like, it's not like every week someone's, finding that one thing that's going to, take care of them for like a month or a year. It's Absolutely just like, not. It's just taking the money, reinvesting it, keeping the bills paid, keeping it going. I mean, it is a straight up hustle. I know you know that.
Yeah. I mean, I know it well enough where I only want to be in it as a casual, hobbyist rather than a full-time thing. Like, I don't depend on it to make a living. And I wouldn't want to, because, I mean, first of all, you have to be interested in a lot more in it than I am at this point.
Yeah.
What if you're not into it anymore? Like, hey, more power to you if you could stay in it. I don't know. I always knew this going into it. Like, getting into toys as an adult, like in the back of my mind, and I always said it, even when I was doing the shows. I don't know if you watched, like I used to do these live shows on the
G.I.
Facebook.
Joe shows.
The G.I. Joe shows.
Yeah.
And I would say consistently, I'm like, dude, I got bored of these toys once when I was younger, and now as an adult, I know I'm going to get bored of these, Like, I'm not like, what am I? I'm just going to hold on to them forever because, it doesn't make sense. I was prepared
no, I mean,
for it,
like, I mean, you try, I think at one point you were like, maybe I'm going to be a toy dealer, and you sort of did it, and you were kind of like,
I'm still doing it, and I still have a huge collection, but like, I'm preoccupied with other things.
Yeah, no, and that's like, that's why it's confusing for me, because like, it's like such a big part of my life now that I'm like,
I mean, I feel like even more so, like, I mean, from what I know, like you grew up in it with your brother. And so it's like, part of your,
it's just part of my like existence.
Yeah.
So it's this weird, like, kind of all encompassing thing. I'm just trying to figure out a way. Cause it's like, you were saying earlier, I was joking and saying, I don't know, something. And you were like, for being a fun shop, there's like a lot of a lot of
stress.
A lot of stress, yeah. But that's also because I'm really trying to, plow through like this stuff, and dude, it's not easy for me. I know. It is not.
Yeah, it's a
not
large
easy.
chore for anyone.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work to to catalog it and all that stuff. But look, at the end of the day, I just have to be like, it beats like working for somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I go back to the Mark Hamill Amazing Stories episode where he's just an old man with all this stuff and he's just selling it all, and he meets the love of his life and has a happy end. I mean, I'm not saying paralleling to your life.
Yeah.
But it just brings me back to that with at least just holding on to things and
Well, no, it's like
when it's the right time to sell
like
it.
Mr. T said,
I pity the fool.
No,
I pity the fool.
Don't be possessed by your possessions.
Oh.
Yeah. That was one of his quotes.
Okay. I guess Fight Club stole it from him, right? Was it Fight Club, or like the things you own wind up owning you?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is that from Fight Club?
I think it was a Tyler Durden.
Yeah. It's good advice.
Yeah.
I think like, Simeon had said to me once, we're just caretakers of these objects for a small amount of time.
Right.
And that always stuck with me. Because, you think about it and you're like, yeah, you enjoy it for the time that you own it. And then, you can't be buried with it. I mean, I guess in some cultures you can, but I'm just going to end up in like a shoebox.
No, when you put when you put it like as far as collecting an object in that respect, to me it brings even more value to the records that you have, because you have them and it's something you collect, but it's something you can actually enjoy. Rather than and you can enjoy them with other people too.
I think I also have like done myself a disservice sometimes of not taking my abilities and my sort of like job seriously enough. Like, I was realizing this past weekend, I bought this insane, reference book, this art book. And I have some great books, but, I will say I don't have an organized design library. And that's something I should have.
What does that mean? Like alphabetical?
No, just like a reference library. Like, I should have a really good reference library as a designer.
You
and
said
say, reference. That's your fault. But, for instance, like I bought, and I do have a lot of books, but I'm like, I should be really, but I couldn't say in my office or in my house or anywhere that, oh, here's my like design book collection.
That's great. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I have little understanding of that.
I feel like I should have that. And so I think it's also like in my
technical books there.
Well, okay. So for instance, like this weekend I bought at the Fantasyfest, I bought this Japanese book. I think it was published in 1999, but it was just all filled with the box art of tin robots and toys from the 1890s till post-war.
So they're not nonfiction books about design stuff.
Well, it's just literally like pages and pages of box designs.
Oh wow!
So it's just good. It's more like reference. For instance,
gotcha.
If something came up where a design, either somebody said to me like, I want to do something that looks like an old robot box, or I was involved in a project and I was thinking, oh, what'd be really cool for this project is it for it to look like an old box. And you can only find so much information on the internet. If you type vintage robot box, there might be 100 that are in that book, but there also might be another 50 in that book that you can't find anywhere online.
Yeah.
So you also have an advantage as like an artist or designer to have these reference points that
I think I've seen those. I know what you're talking about. Like I've gotten books of like alternative movie posters.
Right.
Or something.
Yeah. It's like that kind of stuff where you're sort of collecting, and that's kind of what I want to do with Greg's Fun Shop is I want to do books. That's sort of what I was getting to before, is that I'm trying to find a way to bring the creativity in, and I've been inspired by guys like bibliomancers, and totally had like a No, Donnelly.
Oh, Brendan.
Brandon Donnelly. But like
they make like reference books.
Make
and stuff
like make art books on collections and like I think Glenn, what's his name? Glenn. I don't know. It's this guy Glenn. I can't remember his last name now. Johnny turned me on to him. But he was like a big like Basil Wolverton.
Okay.
I can't think of his. I'm like my brain's too Swiss today.
So they made reference books. Is that?
Well, they just like made books of like collections, and it's just something that I feel like I would do well at. But it's just more it's more of that just taking. I mean, not that I haven't done books before, but I feel like I should be doing them constantly. Not constantly, but like have a consistent drop.
Yeah.
So, but again, it's sometimes for me, it's being at a point where, okay, my business is sort of, I'm trying to get my business back to the point where it's kind of running itself. And then I can focus on other projects. I'm just not there yet. But I'm working towards that though.
Yeah.
Like I want to get back to the point where I could hire somebody to manage the store, but give it to them where there's already an organization, and their job is to either at the very least maintain it or make it better. And I know that there's people there. I just also have learned that you can't get someone else to fix your own problems. Obviously
you can. It's just more expensive.
Yeah, but it's like if it's like if it's like the man in the mirror type shit,
right.
Then you gotta
then you gotta hee.
Hee.
Sometimes you gotta hee.
But you know what I'm saying, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah.
You don't want to bring somebody into like your mess and say, hey, clean this up, and then as they clean something, you're throwing something else on the ground.
Yeah, yeah. You have to pay them extra for that.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
you do.
It's just part of the roller coaster at the
roller coaster
at the amusement park that is the Funshop.
Yeah, I guess this episode is about Greg's journey.
I feel like all episodes really where we don't have a guest are about our journey. I feel like I have a lot less to contribute just because it's not really aimed towards the collecting world. That's why it's like I try to find the things that are kind of
or like I don't know, or just sort of letting me or asking me shit, I think is always good. Or I'm trying to think if there was, I can't remember though if there was anything that I wanted to bring up because I don't know I've been sort of staying out of the news. I mean, because I haven't really like as far as like the I haven't really heard anything big in the collector world. I mean, there has been some things like I know. Well, one really annoying thing is like the price of USPS is going up again. April 26th. I think it's another 8%.
Okay.
So, like one of the cheapest thing to send like USPS Ground Advantage, which is essentially their first class.
$25.
No, like a 3-ounce, like a postcard, right? Like a 3-ounce or like let's say a trading card that you put in like a regular box.
Okay. PWE.
Like you're talking like almost $8.
Okay. When it used to be like 5 or 6?
4.
Okay.
3, 4. So another 8%. I mean, you're talking like now it's going to be close to $9.
Yeah.
And people are already complaining about the price, but also is also one of those reasons why I'm thinking more about like, okay, how much of my business do I want to rely on eBay, especially on low priced items, because part of the low price, and eBay has done some things with the what's the thing? The thing that the ship cards like cheaper. I forget what it's called, but it was basically 3 ounces and under for postcards, trading cards. Okay. I think it's $1.20 and there's tracking.
Okay. Wow.
The problem is that
no protection on the cards.
Yeah, no protection. If people have taken advantage of it and like effed it up, and like you really have to ship it in like
if you got a graded
paper
card.
envelope. Yeah, you can't do a graded. Forget. Even though there has been some horror stories, but eBay they are also changing one thing that's also going to be interesting is you can't cancel your bid. You can't cancel an auction. if you win an auction, they're like I think it's like,
okay,
you have to pay
more protection for the sellers.
So more protection for the sellers, because especially with trading cards, it seems like, I mean, there's a lot of people. Like, it's funny because you hardly would see like the audacity in so many markets, but if you're in these certain sports card or trading card groups, these people on eBay will just literally, like, they don't care. Yeah. They're like, hey, are you going to buy this? Like, nah, man, F off. You know, like, it's not even like, you know, there's no like integrity. Yeah, there's no respect. It's just like the Wild West. And like, they don't care. Or they'll straight up say like, oh, I found it cheaper. I mean, they don't even lie anymore that like, oh, my daughter. I mean, people still do, you know, but it's like, there's just no shame. It's like, they're just like, F you, man, I don't want it. Yeah. You know, and you're just, and you wasted a week, you know, watching your item get bid up, hoping, you know, that it goes for, you know, more than the one just sitting there for however much, you know? So I think
strange.
So those are, I mean, those are some kind of, you know, I think that's you know, I think that's going to be an interesting one, you know, just to kind of see. And, you know, I don't know. I'm just curious because, you know, there's a lot, everybody seems to be trying to figure out other ways to sell stuff besides eBay. You know, obviously I still haven't started Whatnot, but obviously Whatnot seems to be pretty, I know, right?
Episode 41. By time how many episodes?
I know. By the time I start Whatnot, it's gonna be what? Not?
Yeah. Not what?
Not what? Not. But yeah, man, it's a curious time for all that. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I saw recently that it is
just get rid of it all, man.
It is
sell it all.
It is Jackie Robinson Day.
It is Jackie Robinson Day. I was talking about how I wish it would have been poetic if it was show number 42, but we were at 41.
Yeah, but it's still cool.
Jackie Robinson spent most of his childhood in, I think all of his childhood in Pasadena. So he's, you know, kind of a son of Southern California.
Yeah, I've never, I know there's a couple, I think he went to Pasadena City College.
That's right, he did.
And, but I don't know which years, but there's a few years that he played football. I believe that he's in there. Yeah. I got to see, I remember there was like the first collectible show in Vegas. You know, there's a company called Mint and there's a company called Collectible. I don't remember what Mint did, but I know Collectible was one of those fractional currency sites, kind of like Rally. Do you remember those during like the crypto days where
you got me, dude?
So there were like these sites, like they're like, I think the biggest one was called Rally, where, you know, they would buy like some expensive wine or like a Ferrari or like, you know, the Apollo like moon controls.
And people would buy it with crypto?
No, well, people would buy fractions. So that's kind of like what happened. That was part of the whole, like when the whole Jake Paul, like Charizard sale, like that card initially was part of this platform, I think called like Liquid something. And there was fractions of it sold to people. So what would happen is, so let's say, you know, you buy like the Charizard for, which is I think what happened was, you know, the company bought the Charizard for $50,000 or something, let's just say. Then they kept 50% ownership or 51%, and then they sold shares of the other 25,000. So now, not only does this site own the Charizard, like the site and like however many thousands of people own it. Now, then
if it increases in value and sells, you get another fraction of that.
Right. And so then I think what happened is I think Jake Paul came in and rebought the Charizard for like $500,000 or something. So everybody that, you know, and obviously they did, because this all, like, I don't think any of this could have happened, but, you know, because there was all this complaining that people really didn't get paid or it was supposed to be used. But I think he did, you know, it was exactly what happened. What was supposed to happen is that, you know, these things sit on the site and then you also have to agree to it. So if you're a part owner of it, you have to say, like, I agree to sell my share, but you don't have to. So, but then I think if it's a certain amount, then you have no choice. And then you just get, like, let's say you bought 5 shares for $5, and now I guess if it's, 100x, I mean, that means you're cashing out $2,500 or whatever. You know what I mean? But it wasn't, I don't know. I guess it just didn't work out. Anyway, at the first collectible show, I was like, it was kind of like the opening night. And, I'm talking to some guy that, somebody that a friend of mine introduced me to. And he's like, yeah, I got a few things set up here. And I was like, okay. And we go around the corner. And so he has this booth and literally he's just showing it off. And he has like Jackie Robinson's like Brooklyn Dodgers hat.
Jeez.
From like when he and then
when he
like,
broke
I don't know if it was
sound barrier.
Yeah, something like that. And then he has like his contract, or not even a contract. It's like it was like this questionnaire for like Major League Baseball, like why do you want to like play baseball or something? And like in the thing, he was like, I want to be like a hero for like African American youth. He wrote that? Something like that.
That's crazy.
It was like something like that. And it was like, I was like, holy crap. And then,
that's amazing.
So this guy has this. And then on the other side of the booth, he has like 2 of 4 of like Jesse Owens, like gold medals from the like 34 Olympics or 36 Olympics.
Wow.
How
did he get all this stuff?
He's rich, I guess. I mean, that's the thing is, I guess he just wasn't some like. I mean, he was a random guy to me, but I guess he wasn't random enough to like.
Right.
I mean, it was kind of crazy though, because I remember it was kind of a sad story because supposedly Jesse Owens got 4 gold medals that year. That was a whole big deal because it was like the Nazis were hosting and he beat all these like records
Germans.
and stuff. The German Nazi. It was in Germany
during the Nazi.
Yeah, it's a really famous Olympics.
Yeah,
and so, but the story was he got 4. This guy had 2 of them. One is missing, and one he supposedly used like later in life to cover because he couldn't pay his rent. And he gave the gold medal, and supposedly that one's missing, or maybe it's known, but it's in some. Like with some
reference
family
book.
estate or something, it's not something that's like available to the public. But, yeah, I mean,
I was in a museum.
Yeah, I mean dude, that's the one thing about sometimes going to these shows. I don't think people know. Like, if you go to like the National, which is the big Chicago show. Right. I mean, most of the auction houses will plan it. For instance, Heritage. I'm pretty sure they plan their like platinum, they're like their highest level pop culture and like highest level sports auctions. Like they might do like sports auctions during the National, and maybe they do like pop culture during like Comic-Con or something. But they'll have these like crazy booths where they just bring out all these cases. And like I remember one year that I went, they had like all this Muhammad Ali stuff, and it was just like. Every stuff, robes he wore, all these things, and I love, it's like I love that type of stuff. I love seeing,
of course, yeah.
A really good display or like a really, moving piece that you're just like, wow, like the history behind this is so cool.
I'd like to find some of that cheap, but I don't know if I want to buy it.
Yeah,
like the expensive stuff.
I do. I don't know if I told you, I do have Muhammad Ali's trick thumb.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
No, it's just this like
Google
classic.
It.
Yeah, it's just this classic magic trick. I actually got it at Potter and Potter. Oddly enough.
Did you really? From there, you bought it in an auction?
Yeah. Actually, like Lisa got it for me one year for like. She's like, I was like, I really want something on Potter and Potter. She's like, what is it? And I'm like, it's Muhammad Ali's trick thumb. And she's like, what is it? How much is it? And I'm like, well, it's like estimated, I think from like to like 400 to 600. And she's like, okay. And I start bidding and people start bidding.
Oh Lord.
And then, I was like, well, I got some good news. I was like, I won the thumb. But the bad news is it was $1,500.
But it's authenticated. And
it's like all authenticated.
Photo
it's
matched.
Like, it's like real deal. Like
it's like a gag that he had.
Yeah, and it's actually like it's something that he was actually known for.
Okay, having a trick
like
thumb.
having like using like the trick thumb. I mean, the trick thumb is kind of, you could Google it, but it's the, it's one of
the hitchhiker thumb.
Yeah, it's like a plastic thumb that you put over your real thumb, so then you can conceal stuff. I mean, it's like but it's like, it's primarily used by clowns and stuff, because it's a very like, once you know how to do it, that's why you're not supposed to know how to do magic tricks, because usually the gimmick sometimes is like really dumb. Like, wait, you're like, that scarf disappeared because you put it into a rubber thumb that you put on your thumb,
or they do the trick where they make it look like their finger is poking through your shirt, but they cap it over their finger.
No, that's real.
Oh,
they really poke a hole through your shirt. You have to like learn. You have to like get your. It's like a body temperature thing, and you get your finger so hot that when you pull it out, the stitches just stitch back together.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's true. Wow. So. With that, I guess
you're gonna have to teach me more magic tricks.
Yeah, I guess with that, episode 41 in the books, boys.
Get a good stretch in there. You did a lot of work.
Jackie Robinson
did so much
Day.
work. Oh my gosh.
Long Beach this weekend. Check out Ronnie at the local drum and bass clubs.
I'm not going
clubs.
to. I'm not going to drum and bass anymore. They got I got docs there, man.
Docs,
I ain't going to that no more.
He's house music all night long.
Yeah, I'll not give me that house music. Peace out, guys.